Have you ever wondered or wanted to know how to create your own stream of videos? Well, I'm going to be showing you OBS. This is OBS, and this is how all the big streamers and all the big video content creators do their streams. This is for 2024, so let's get straight into it. So to download OBS, you want to go to the website in the video description. It is just obsprojects.com, and it is available on Windows, Mac, and Linux, all available for free. And you simply just download it, and you will be able to open it up, install the program to your main C drive. I always say main C drive because you want this to run the best possible speed you can. Once that's done, you want to open up OBS. Once you open up OBS, this is what OBS will look like. And as you can see, it's a very blank canvas. And it's quite a simple process from here, and I'm going to explain it all in just a second. So down the bottom left, we have scenes. This is like the chapter of your book, okay? So within the chapters, you have multiple pages. This is the way I look at it. So this is chapters. You can have multiple scenes, and on each scene, you can have multiple different sources. Sources are like, as you can see on my screen, the camera, your gameplay, your audio, or any other alerts or anything like that you wish to have. Okay, so all this on my screen, you can see here, I got my camera and I've got my window display. This all goes down in the sources, and I'll show you all that in just a second. Next then is the audio mix. This is where you can find the balance of your audio with your microphone, gameplay, or if you're watching videos, whatever it is, your music in the background. This is where you find your balance and how this balance works correctly, okay? You need to be very careful with this because sound is a very, very big part of streaming and your videos. I have made so many mistakes. As you can see from my videos, I never delete any of them. You can see that I've made so many mistakes from videos where I've had music too loud or my voice is too low compared to the gameplay. This is very, very important you get this right. Next then, we have scene transitions. This is where you transition from your main scene to a face cam and how you would like to do it. Again, I'll explain this. I don't really a big fan of this. I don't change scenes that much, but if you do want to change scenes often, this can be a very nice, smooth way of using it. And then on the right hand side, this is the control panel. This is where all the engine room of everything goes. This is where you start your stream, you manage your broadcast, you set replay buffers, record videos, all your settings. This is one of the most important assets of OBS you will be using. So let's go into more depth now, and I'll show you how to do it. So I've deactivated my camera now, so I'm able to use it on here. Just so you're aware, if you have got a webcam, you will only be able to use it on one piece of software at once. So for instance, I'm using Prism to record this. I can't use my camera on Prism and on OBS. For instance, I wouldn't be able to use it on Discord and inside OBS. Okay, so that's something that you really need to keep an eye out for, just so you're aware. So what I'm going to do, as you can see, I've created two scenes. And I'm going to do this very simply. I'm going to have scene 2 as like a gaming screen. And then I'm going to have my main scene then as just a face cam. So the first thing I always do, I want to add my microphone. Okay, so I want to go in, and as you can see, these are all sources. Okay, so these are all different types of sources. You can group them. I use groups quite a lot simply because I have a lot of sources within my scenes, and I'll show you my sources after. It's not very tidy, but I'll show you what it can look like when an up and running scene is done. Okay, so I always start with audio input capture. Audio input capture, and this is my mic. I always name a mic, and then you want to select your microphone from the drop down list. I've got multiple different options because I use different audio types for different things, and that's another video. But in terms of what I want my Blue Yeti microphone, and as you can see, it is active by here. And this is how you know it is active. When you see all this going up and down, you can move this slider down the bottom to change the volume of your microphone. Okay, once you do this, I always recommend, if you are, when you're not speaking, this is moving, which I'll show you in a second. if you are getting that, I would always right click, filters, go to the plus sign, and then you're looking for noise suppression. And what this does, it will suppress the background noise, okay? So that when you're silent, it will not be picking up little staticky noises, which I'll show you now. As you can see, there was no movement on that mic and that bar. That means that the suppression noise filter is doing its correct job. Once that's done, I always lock it in place. I don't want to delete it by accident. I don't want to do anything. So this I button is to see if it's visibly working or not. So if you don't want your mic on for whatever reason, you can press the I button and it will hide that scene. The lock button simply locks it so you won't be able to move it, but I lock it to show that I have done that bit correctly. So I'm going to hide this just for the purpose of this video. The next thing that most people would like is your game audio. So again, you want to go to audio input capture and you want to select your gaming or desktop volume. So mine is voice meter output. Okay, it's that simple. Voice meter output, press OK, and then you'll be able to see here now. So this is what it would look like normally. This is now my audio capture for my desktop. So if you were playing a video game, this is what would be picking up. Okay, so that's again very simple. I'm going to lock it. I'm going to hide them both because I don't really want to see them at the moment. Okay, next then we want a camera. This is a main screen. So this is your main screen on your, when you first start a video or first start a live, I want to see my camera. So I'm going to press plus button here. I'm going to go video capture device. I'm going to name this cam. I'm going to press OK. And then I'm going to select the correct camera for me. So I've only got one camera, so I'm going to select that. For me, I don't like the default resolution. So I'm going to change all this because I like to set mine to custom. Okay, the camera will disappear, but there's nothing to worry about. All I'm going to do, I'm going to set my camera to 1080, 1080p, so 1920 by 1080. I want to make sure this is the maximum FPS I can possibly have. And I'm going to keep everything at any or default, okay? You can use a custom audio source if you're using your webcam for your audio, but I don't do that. So I'm going to press OK. And again, you can lock this in place. If you want to change it, you can change the size of it. If you want to crop it, so you can crop the edges in. If you don't want, say, I don't want this part by here in the video or in there, I can hold Alt and then drag that in. And what it'll do, it'll crop the side out. So it's Alt on your keyboard, press that in and drag and slide. Okay, so you can crop whatever you wish out if you do. So again, I'm going to lock that in place, and now I've got a basic starting camera or whatever you wish to call it. So this has my camera and my mic and an audio source for my desktop. The next scene, I'm going to click scene 2, and as you can see, this is blank. So what I want to do with this one is quite simple. I want to go plus scene. I'm going to go video capture device again. I'm going to click add existing. I'm going to click camera. And what it'll do, it'll drag over the camera from the existing scene that we've already added. And then you're able to crop this to the size you wish. Okay, so I'm going to make this smaller. And I'm going to put this to the bottom left of my screen. And I'm going to lock this in place. Same for the audio sources. So I'm going to go audio input. And again, I'm going to add one of these in each time, okay? So audio input, and I'm going to add the existing mics and everything in, okay? Again, I'm going to lock these, but I'm going to mute the mic one, just simply because I don't want anything accidentally leaking out in terms of into this video. After this then, you're going to add a game source. And there's possibly 2 to 3 ways of doing this, and it depends on what you would wish to do. For me, if I am playing video games, I am going to add a game capture simply because that limits or doesn't use as much CPU as it would for a window capture. Game capture is made just for games, okay? Window capture is slightly different. It will select the whole screen that you physically see. So if you're playing a game and a message pops up, they will see that message. In game capture, if a message pops up on that screen, it will only capture the game and you will not see that message. It's a very important difference, and it's very good if you want to keep your privacy, if you want to keep the privacy on your PC. So I'm going to show you how to add these, okay? So what you want to do, you want to press add source. Once you add this source, you have got multiple. You got window capture, you have got display capture, and you got game capture. And I'll explain all the differences to you in just a second. So first of all, I'm going to add a game capture. Once I add the game capture, it will ask me then, what specific? Do you want to capture any full screen application, specific window? Or do you want to have the foreground or with a hotkey or whatever? I always capture a specific window. And the reason for that is, I can capture anything I wish now via this. I.e., if I have got Call of Duty on, if I've got FIFA on, I would select Call of Duty or FIFA in the thing. As you can see, I'm running Prism at the moment, which I'm recording this video on. You can just simply press, I'll show you the Prism. You simply press OK, and then it'll produce the window here for you. Okay? So I am now going to hide that. So I have now hidden that. So that will only work if there's an active source available. My recommendation is to use game capture if you possibly can. It is the best quality and it will also save on your CPU. The next option is display capture. Display capture is what I use if I want to show a video off or any shapes or forms like that. As you can see from here, you can select what screen you want to capture. So I got my primary monitor, I've got my secondary and my third one. I'm going to show you my third one because there's nothing on there. And again, that's very simple. That's all it is. You can change the size of this. You can do anything you wish, okay? If you do want it to fit screen, you want to right click, transform, and it is fit to screen. And it will automatically fit to screen. When this lock sign is not locked, you can move this around and do anything you wish, okay? If you press lock, you cannot move that. You cannot physically move that. You can't do anything to change that from the position it is, okay? Again, I'm going to hide that. They're the two that I recommend. And you're wondering, well, I couldn't see your camera then. So there's a reason for that. I'll show it back up. I'll unlock this and I'll unlock my camera. What I need, it needs to be in order. So down the bottom is what is in the background of your scene. And what's on the top of the sources up here is what is on top of the source. And off top of the scene, what you can see. So I want to drag this all the way down, and I want to drag that down the bottom, and there you go. You can see my camera now is overlaying the background. So that is my screen, and now you can see its background, and it's overlaying that. So that's how you add scenes, and that's how you work with scenes in OBS. I'm going to show you quickly the scene transition. There is only two, you can add more if you wish. So there's a fade transition here, and it lasts for 300 milliseconds. For the sake of the video, I'm going to change it to 900 milliseconds. So when I change here, as you can see, it fades in and out from the two scenes, which really looks cool. It's something that if you are swapping scenes quite a lot, it's something you really need to look out for and definitely use. Next, I'm going to go into the settings of OBS. This is where you need to really be careful, and I'll show you one very important tip that I used that changed everything for me and got rid of all lag, jitters and everything. It's a very simple tool and it's built in to OBS for free. So the general information is as what it says. I don't really change any of this. It's nothing for me to look at. I don't really use it. In terms of stream, this is where you select where you're streaming and how you're streaming. If you're streaming to a platform not on the list, you press custom, and then you add the appropriate stream key and URL for that. If you're with any of the big ones like YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, any of them, you can sign in with your account and you will have added benefits like having chat in OBS built in, so you can read your chat and have OBS open all in one. Again, we'll get into that in just a little bit. Next is the output. And again, I don't really mess with this too much because it's automatically set for me, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. What this is your bitrate. So this is the quality per second you're outputting. So I have mine at 10,000. Most streaming platforms can't go above 10,000. But a lot of people like to say 6 to 10 is a good number to have. Audio bitrate is 160. A lot of people say it should be on 246 or whatever it is. This one over here, or 256. I keep mine at 160. It's what they've told me to do, and that's the reason for it. I have mine on a slow. So the slower the preset, the better the quality. The slower the preset, the more CPU and GPU you'll be using. So please bear that in mind when you're producing this, okay? So for instance, if you're on a laptop, you'll probably want to run the fastest P1. You want to run the fastest one possible, because your laptop won't be as good as a PC, depending on the laptop, obviously. For me, I run it on good. My PC's not amazing, but I play and stream off the PC, so I want to balance the game quality with the stream quality the best I can, and slow is a good rate to be going at. The next bit is recording paths. I can't change this because obviously it's recording. What you want to change this to wherever you want to save your recordings or clips, okay? Again, you want this on the highest preset you can possibly go, depending on the PC or laptop you have. I always have mine in MP4. The reason I have mine in MP4, I find it a better format to do. It can sometimes, very rarely, not work, but that is a rare occasion. Plus, 90% of the videos that I produce, I edit, so I want to be able to put them into an MP4 format, edit them, and get them out straight away. The hardware accelerator is very important. So I want that on my GPU, simply because that's better than my CPU. If your CPU is better than your GPU, then I would go for your CPU. You need to find out which one is better for you, and you need to do the research for that. But for instance, I run a 4060 Ti. That is better than my Ryzen 7 5600G, for instance. Okay? So the next one then is obviously your replay buffer. I have mine on 60 seconds. Just because if I'm streaming or if I'm playing games and I want to clip something, it will clip everything for the last 60 seconds. So it's everything from now and 60 seconds ago. This can be done very simply by a click of a button. You can set it to a hotkey, and I'll show that in just a second. So this output, you can change little bits of it, but I'll show you a trick in just a second on how to do it properly. Next then is the audio tab. I have most of mine disabled. This is just audio tracks and stuff like that because I don't want it on at the moment. But you can change by here what sources you want for the standard audio mixers. The video, this is your output. Make sure your output, your base canvas and your output match exactly. Otherwise you will have issues of your PC over rendering because it's changing it from that format to that format where you're outputting. So make sure they match. Your downscaling, I don't have no downscaling on because this matches, so it saves on that, and I stream at 60 FPS. My advice is if you're on a laptop, try and stick to 30. 60 is your maximum you can go really on streaming platforms, unless you have got a super duper contract with them where you can stream a 4K and may be able to do some more, you may have more privileges. Next thing then is hotkeying. This is where you can select your replay buffer and select it to a certain key, and then you can assign that to a certain button, or for me, a stream deck. You can also integrate that with. This is very important if you want to mute and unmute certain stuff or anything like that. It's definitely worth using. Accessibility, that's up to you if you want to look into that. And again, this is more the advanced options. I don't really change this. This is how the format of what the recording saves as. I'm not really bothered by it, to be honest with you. Let them do that. I'm not really bothered. Next, I'm going to show you how to automatically sort certain stuff out. For instance, sorting out your stream so it's perfect for the correct platform you're on. What you want to do is click Auto Configuration Wizard under the Tools section. Click that and it will offer you what you want to do. What do you want to specify your OBS for? For me, it's streaming and recording secondly. If you're recording and streaming secondly, select that. What you want to do then is click Next, and you want to advise on what is the best FPS or what you want to run at. So I want to select 60 and use this as my base canvas resolution. So I want to stream in 1080p. You want to go Next, and you want to sign into your correct server, i.e. mine's YouTube. I've connected to my account and use the correct hardware that you want. You want to click Next then. I'm not going to do this simply because I've already done it. And what it will do, it will calculate what's best for you, and it will automatically do your settings. So it will automatically say what's the recommended bit rate, what's the recommended canvas size, what's the recommended everything for yourself to stream at on that platform. Your PC may be able to do better than that, but if, for instance, YouTube can only do 1080, 60 FPS, 10,000 bit rate, but you want to do 20,000 bit rate, there's no point, because you can't do it. So why stress your PC out that much more when you do not need to do that? I really recommend using this because it does automatically set it up perfectly, and I did have a lot of issues with OBS until I used this, simply because of the jitters I was getting and drop frames and stuff like that. But it turns out with this it does sort a lot of them issues out. So that is the basics of OBS, guys. If you have any questions or want to know more information, please drop a comment and drop a like and drop a subscribe for any more OBS. I've got more advanced stuff on my YouTube as well. Don't go and check them out. If you need any help, you can also drop into Discord, drop me a message, and we can discuss it, and maybe I can advise a bit better. But next up now, just to finish off, I'm going to show you my scenes of what I use on my OBS, just so you can see this is how I do it. So this is what my OBS looks like. On the left hand side, I've got plugins like Vertical to make my clipping experience easier for myself. On the right hand side, this is where I have my chat. You're able to expand this up to whatever you wish to see it on your screen. So you're able to have OBS up and you can see your chat. I have more options down the bottom simply because of Vertical. And as you can see, my sources are very, very compact. And as you can see, I've got multiple scenes. For instance, I have my full face cam one. I also have a screenshotting one if I want to screenshot a certain aspect. I have my video recording one, which is the full screen. And as you can see everything on this. And I have other gameplay scenes like this scene and this one that are built for different things, i.e. this is built for mobile gaming. This is built for, it's called a nested scene. This nested scene then can be used to change everything, but it'll change multiple things, all of your scenes. It's definitely worth looking into. Again, that's a bit more advanced, so please go and check a video out on that. So this is my OBS, and this is what can happen when you get really into it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you've got any questions, let me know. But yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, much love. Peace.